So I just saw Reminiscence, which is the new HBO Max in theaters day and date release. I watched it on HBO Max. It stars Hugh Jackman, and I'll be honest, I didn't really know anything about this movie until I looked up some reviews after watching it. And I did see the trailer for this, and I really didn't get a vibe of what this movie was about. It looked like a ripoff of like Blade Runner, Minority Report, and some other sci-fi movies. And so I didn't really get the premise from it, but I was like, I'll just watch it because I made a promise to you guys at the beginning of the year that I'm reviewing all the HBO Max day and date releases, and so far I've done that, every single one. I have not missed a single day and date release for any of these movies, and I'm not going to intend to miss one this time. Now, this time I did watch it on HBO Max and not in theaters. Some of these I watch in theaters, some of them I watch on HBO Max. This is when I chose to watch on HBO Max because, again, I didn't know too much about it, so I didn't really feel a desire to go to the theater. But, yeah, I did not like this movie. From what I understand, this movie is from the director of this is one of the co-creators of Westworld. Some of you guys all might hate me for this. I have not watched that show. I need to do that at some point. Yes, I do, but I have not done that yet. But yeah, I've never seen the show Westworld. I've seen the movie Westworld, so I don't know. But I'm meaning to get around to that show, but I watched it, and yeah, I did not like this movie because I found this out later. But this movie's an hour and 58 minutes, so it's about 2 hours, pretty much, And now an hour and 58 minutes is with the credits, so it's basically an hour 50. This movie was 2 hours and 30 minutes, so they cut out essentially almost an hour of this movie to make it shorter, and I don't understand this at all. Because if you were worried this film was going to bomb in theaters because it was too long or whatever, then why not just not release it in a theater? Just release it straight to HBO Max. I mean, I get they kind of did that, but I mean, take out theaters entirely, release it straight to HBO Max. Because you can tell in this movie that it does not make sense at all. The noirish, like Chinatown type story it's going for, right? The actual like noirish part of it, investigation, that type of thing, makes zero sense as that mystery unfolds. The plot unfolds. It makes zero sense. It just doesn't. Now I will say this movie has a cool world and aesthetic to it, and it was a little bit of rip-offish to like other sci-fi movies, but I think it still made the universe its own. Basically, this movie takes place in a universe where, like Miami is underwater, and like rich people, kind of live above the water, and people walk around in the rain. It's like all these interesting concepts that I haven't seen in another sci-fi movie. So, I think some people are going to see the trailer and some of the images from this movie and say, hey, that looks pretty cliche, doesn't really look like a new and fresh sci-fi movie. But I think it did offer a really interesting concept. It makes you wonder if this was not something that they should have made a movie. It should have been a series, considering this is someone who, they worked on Westworld, right? Which is a TV show. And maybe this should have been that. And I kind of could see it being better as that, because while the world building is really cool, I kind of would have liked to see more of it, like it would in a TV show. The noirish part of it that could have been fleshed out more, and the plot could have been able to make more sense, and it wouldn't have to be trimmed down like it was in this movie. All that stuff could have been a lot better. This isn't a terrible movie by any means. It's just a movie that has a really cool world. I wasn't bored watching. I was engaged in it enough, but it's not a film I'm going to remember because, well, the story doesn't make any sense. The plot doesn't make any sense. The world is really cool, but, like, I don't need a there's a movie with a cool world if there's not a story and characters to attach myself to. You know, there's close to that, but it doesn't work very well. I think this film had a lot going for it, had a lot promising it, but I think the studio, I don't know what was in those 30, 40 minutes of this movie that was cut out. I don't know, but I think it is a very obvious like Batman versus Superman thing. And what I mean by that is like there was a version of Batman versus Superman uh, that was released on home video, and then the other version of that movie that you saw in theaters was basically cutting out the scenes that were necessary to make the movie make sense. Didn't make the movie better, just, you know, I don't think the ultimate version made Batman vs Superman better, but that's a conversation for a different day. But what I'm saying is like there's a different cut of this movie that is necessary to make the movie make sense. That's what I think happened here. Can't confirm, can't really say. Again, don't know what's in those things. If this movie has a home video cut, I wouldn't be surprised. I might pick it up, check it out. I don't understand why you wouldn't just release like the extended version on HBO Max. I don't know. But this movie is like really cool. This movie is really promising. It's kind of like, I wasn't a movie I was looking forward to, but then after watching it, I was like, dang. I expected nothing, and yet I'm still disappointed, because I got some really cool things, and then I got some really disappointing things out of this movie, and I think that's unfortunate. But you guys let me know what you guys think of this movie. What did you think of Reminiscence?